Welcome to PPR Podcast number 187. My name is Rudy, Paul Rudy. To my right is the undisputed star of the podcast. He is part of the San Diego Strike Force, which is a big reason why the Strike Force is sponsoring said podcast. Oh, Burt Grossman?
Yes.
How are you, my friend?
I'm quite well, Paul. How are you today?
What do you say we start the show? Tell us who we got in the center seat.
Costa Canyon, Quinn Roth, who I would say, I'm going to get a lot of trouble for this, the best quarterback in the county.
Whoa! Whoa!
I'm going to get a lot of trouble for that, Quinn. So
there is no way to walk that back. You're on record, and let's find out why you say that. Quinn, how you doing?
Good, how are you? Thanks for having me on.
Hey, Quinn, is it Quinn or Quinton? I've seen both written. How do your friends refer to you?
Quinn.
All right, Quinn. The mighty Quinn.
Yep.
I got a question for you, because my son's name's Quentin, and his friends call him Quinn, but his girlfriend calls him Quentin. Does that ever happen to you?
No, I've only been called Quinn my whole life, so yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right. Young man, you just heard those words from Burt Grossman. Please respond to them. Do you feel like you're the best quarterback in the county?
I feel like there's a lot of great quarterbacks in the county, and it's hard to say who's the best, but I feel like this season I've been performing to my standard, and my team's been helping me a lot to do that. So I think numbers don't lie, but we got to continue to keep winning. And at the end of the day, like, winning is the best record or best stat you could have. So if we continue to do that, I think that's a good take.
I think it started, I don't know if you remember, they played Carlsbad, and you were a sophomore last year. They played Carlsbad against Julian Say. You remember how good Carlsbad was. And you had 420 yards and I think like 5 TDs in that game as a sophomore.
Yeah, that was an awesome game. That was a great experience, especially, to play in a sold-out crowd like that on both sides of the stadium. The energy was crazy, and yeah, for sure, that was an awesome game.
And what did you learn from that game, watching Sayin in comparison to your own game now? Did you walk away from that thinking, oh, this is what I need to work on?
There was definitely a lot of things that he did that I could learn from, especially working out with him in the offseason. I don't know if a lot of people know this, but we've been training together since we've been little. So just to play against him in that type of game was awesome for me, and it was a great experience.
Yeah, I was going to, because you have 5 games, you have like 1,300 yards, 75% completion rate, 1 interception, 150 QB rating. And to be honest with you, surprise to a lot of people, you've been blowing everybody out at halftime. You don't even play that much, to be honest with you. Did you guys, I don't think we saw you guys as an open contender going into the year. Did you guys know this was going to happen?
Yeah, I think so. Honestly, throughout the whole offseason, we were just, keeping our head down, not really listening to a lot of what people were saying. But inside this building, we know how good we are. And as long as we keep working hard and play to our standard, I think we can play with anybody in the county.
I guess why I find it easy to root for your team is because you are like one of those last of the Mohicans in that you're truly a neighborhood team where everybody grew up together and you've known each other in some capacity. Probably went to the same grade school. Maybe you have a couple transfers in and out, but not a lot. And you are what they refer to as a neighborhood school. Am I right about that? Am I wrong? Or do you have 20 transfers I don't know about? Or explain what the LCC Mavs are all about.
No, I think you're 100% correct by saying that. I feel like we take pride in that for sure. And that's why our team chemistry is like on point right now. Because I feel like when you grow up playing together and you play Pop Warner together and you play flag football together and you grow up together, you have an advantage over other teams that, are taking transfers in and out of their school because, yeah, they might be better on the field, but when you have a team that all loves each other and really knows each other, it's a huge advantage. And we only have 2 transfers in our team right now that came from Cathedral Catholic. So it's really not that many transfers, to be honest. And they grew up in the neighborhood. So we all knew them before and went to middle school with them. So, yeah, it's huge, honestly.
Cathedral Catholic, they're getting a few transfers.
Well, yeah, I imagine Cathedral's, the reason why they're leaving is the number of transfers going in and everybody's looking for playing time. And if you're not going to get it, why not go to the public school down the street that will give it to you, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, Quinn, one of the things I love about you is your 7-on-7 is pretty much translates into real football, where a lot of the quarterbacks, throw 7-on-7 and then they get in live action and it's not the same. They're not the same player. Do you do it with the team, your 7-on-7, or are you part of one of the clubs? And how big a factor is that for you in the off season?
So for me, 7-on-7 is more like a tool. I use it, as one of my training regiments in the off season, but I don't use it as my whole off season. I feel like it can do more negative than positive as a quarterback, because you have 4 seconds to throw and you can just hop around back there and not really go through your reads. So I play a little bit of fast camp with Jace and some of those kids. But for the most part, I did Stampede Elite with LCC in the off season, and it was huge just getting ahead and, getting my timing down with my receivers.
I've never been to a 7-on-7 camp or competition, so I don't even know how it works. How does it work? Someone's got a stopwatch and you got 4 seconds to get rid of the ball?
Yeah, it's either 4 or like 3.7 seconds, which is honestly a pretty long time. So, I can create bad habits for a lot of quarterbacks.
Yeah, no backside rushers, no coming up, no nothing.
Well, yeah,
and then you see a lot of quarterbacks that can't translate into live action. They'll tear it up.
Yeah, but what's the alternative? You can't have,
Go play baseball. That's the alternative.
Yeah. Do you play any other sports, Quinn, or are you a quarterback from womb to however far it takes you?
So when I was younger, I played like 4 sports at one time. I was basketball, baseball, football, everything. But as I got older, I realized I had to kind of cut it down a little bit. So I also played soccer too. So I had to cut it down. 8th grade, I only played basketball and football, and now it's just football. But I did track freshman year, so it's always fun trying new sports. I definitely still play basketball with my friends at the gym and stuff, but I don't play on a team.
Just out of curiosity, what was your event in track and field?
Shot put?
I did the 100, the 200, and the 4 I won.
Well, that means you're fast.
I wouldn't say I'm fast, but I'm definitely not slow. It's a pretty good balance. A lot of the football players at our school do track in the off season just to get faster, but it was honestly just a fun thing to do with my friends, and also get better while doing it.
You're fast camp. You gotta be fast. You can't be slow camp. Fast camp. Quinn,
Yeah.
I got a question for you, because we've been talking about this a lot. Everybody's been talking about it a lot. You being a quarterback, what do you think about the banning the 2 high safeties in football? What do you think that? What's your opinion on that?
That's not gonna.
Banning 2 high safeties?
Yeah, there was a guy, the name, Mel Kiper.
Kiper.
He's the draft guru. He feels that that in the NFL they should eliminate the 2 high safety defense, make it illegal to do it, because in his view, because defenses are so good at playing cover 2, that it's hurting the offensive output of the game, and people want to see scoring, and by eliminating the, covered, I guess it would be going more to man, right?
Quinn throws a ball in the first play of every game, pretty much, if you watch his tape, so he probably wouldn't like that.
I assume that, I don't think it's going anywhere, Quinn, but the fact that, I guess what it speaks to in the sport of football is the defense always catches up. No matter what the rules are, the defense always seems to catch up with the offense. Is that how you see it at the high school level?
Well, I think it's a little bit different in the NFL just because of the level of play and how talented every one of those guys are in defense. But in high school football, I think it doesn't really matter too much. The different coverages, like you can still find openings at each coverage. But our coaches do a great job of, we know if we line up in a certain formation, what coverage we're going to get from that defense. So sometimes we line up in 2 tight ends and fullback and a running back, because we know that they're going to go 1 high. So, it's little things like that you can kind of go around that a little bit.
How do people play you? I assume everybody's got a book report on you. What's the way to beat Quinn Roth?
Well, honestly, I think the defenses just stick what they do all season. I don't really think they change a lot of their stuff, but I think a lot of schools run some man coverage, and when they play us, they don't run it a lot just because of the playmakers we have all around the ball. We have Jackson Majori, Lennox Marcucci, Ethan Polarino, Kobe Herman. I mean, the list goes on. So playing man coverage isn't really the smartest idea. But to be honest, the defenses really don't change that much when we play them.
You know, I sound like a Quinn Roth fanboy right now, but I'm going to say it.
Yeah,
I'm going to say it again.
Yeah, can you send him an autograph picture, please?
Yeah, send me an autograph blow off, Quinn. You know, I don't want to go again. The other thing I like about you, and I never see in high school, is, and I want to, is this instinctual, or do you learn this, or you practice this? I don't know how you would, but you move around the pocket real well without, almost instinctually, like evading and not taking your eyes off the, downfield, where a lot of people, the second there's pressure, they look down, they start running, they lose the field. Is that something you work on, or is that just an instinctual thing where you can just move around the pocket without taking your eyes off?
I think it's a little bit of both. To be honest, my coach, Jose Mueller, who's also my offensive coordinator, my quarterback coach, I've been training with him since I've been little. So just creating great habits like that, he's always telling me not to get my eyes down too early and just run around, because a lot of high school quarterbacks, they see pressure and they just get their eyes down and run around like crazy. So, it's huge just to keep your eyes downfield, make your reads, and sometimes you're going to have to take a hit, but if you get the ball there, it's all good.
Hey, you want to follow up on that, or do you?
No, go ahead.
Hey, Quinn, what's the funniest thing you've ever seen on the football field? When you get around with the guys, you're sitting in the back of a pickup truck, and you're talking about a moment in time. Share with us the story that gets the biggest laugh. Maybe it's something you did stupid. Back when
don't go back to your
back in
crossfire.
my day, we had a guy named, I'm not going to say his real name, but we called him Bump, because he had this big protrusion on his forehead, and every time he tried to go for the drinking fountain, he couldn't get past the overhang, so he bumped his head on the head, so he could never get to the water. And we used to sit around and watch him try to drink water, and it was the funniest damn thing you've ever seen. What is the story that you guys, to this day, I don't even know his real name. I go, hey, Bump, how you doing? What's your story that you guys tell?
Well, it's kind of hard to think of one on the spot, but two come to mind from last season that were pretty funny. When we played Mira Mesa last year, Trevor Ladd was out at receiver, and we kind of had like the freedom to check his route at the line of scrimmage, just depending on like the look. And he just looked at me, and he looked at the corner and was just like, I'm running a fade. And I threw him the ball, and he caught it. And it was pretty funny because the corner knew what route he was running, and he still caught it. So yeah, that was a lot. That's something Trevor would do pretty often. And then another one was probably last year when we played Poway, when Coach Sokol was actually gone because one of his family members passed away. So he was at a funeral. But Kobe Herman scored and did a backflip, and that's super against what Coach Sokol, preaches. So he did a backflip, got flagged for it, and then Coach Sokol called him on the sideline, and he had a long talk with him. And then literally 5 minutes later, Jackson Majori did a backflip. And he didn't know that he got in trouble for it, so they had to run all week for in practice for that. So that's one of the things we joke about nowadays. Like Coach Sokol, he's not mad about it anymore, but in the moment he was heated.
Oh, so he wasn't at the game?
No, he wasn't at the game. He was watching the live stream, and he saw two kids do backflips, which has never been done before at LCC. Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
I love Coach, but he kind of scares me. He looks like he could be pretty.
He's like Bill Belichick.
Do I have that right? Like if he's upset, you know about it?
Yeah, he for sure lets people know how he's feeling, but he's a great leader, and he knows when to be hard on you, but he also knows when to love you up. So I think that's one of the things that makes him a great coach, to be honest. But yeah, he's definitely a little scary on the outside, but he's a great guy.
Yeah.
So hey, that was against Poway of last year?
Yeah, against Poway.
All right, I'll see if
Hey, Quinn, what time do you guys practice tomorrow? Because I try to get Nash Cooper for Shaq's Pig Pen, and he's like my son. It's just like,
impossible to get hold of?
If he wants some money, he'll reply to me, but he won't reply to me. What time's practice tomorrow?
I think we practice at 3:50 right after school.
All right. You got a bye week this week, don't you?
Yeah, we do.
Oh, all right.
Hey, just so you know, Quinn, we're going to hit you up later in the year to come be an in-studio guest on the show. So there's only one answer to that when the invitation comes, just so you know.
Of course.
All right.
Of course. Thank you.
All right, so let's talk about the hairdo. It looks like a hockey. I would have guessed you were a hockey player. Who's your stylist?
I go to a salon
Salon.
on the 101 in Cardiff. Her name's Piper. I've been going to her for a few years now, but yeah, I don't go to a barber or anything like that.
Oh, come on, take the hat off. Show us the locks.
Oh wow.
It's honestly true.
Dude, you're a surfer. I mean, you could pass as a surfer. Do you surf?
Yeah, I do. I grew up on the beach in Cardiff. I love surfing. It's something I've been doing for a while now, and I'll continue to do it for the rest of my life. So,
How often do you surf?
During football season, it's a lot less, to be honest. It's more like when I can, maybe on a Sunday. But during the summer, I was surfing probably 5 times a week with my friends at the beach. So it's really whenever I can, to be honest with you.
All right, what's the scariest moment you've had in the water?
Sharks? Yeah.
Have we seen sharks?
I haven't seen a shark, but I've been in the water when other people have said they saw a shark. But it's not really something I'm too scared of, just because I know they're out there and there's nothing I can do about it. And I feel like shark attacks happen so rarely that, I'll take my chances.
Quinn, I would argue there is something you can do about it. You could stay on the beach.
Yeah.
I mean, isn't that an option?
It is an option, but I feel like going in the water, there is a little bit of a danger to it, but like catching a wave, it definitely beats it.
All right. I've heard that so many times before. Tell me, what's the sensation? What is it about catching a wave? Can you put it in words why it's so magical?
I would compare it to throwing a perfect pass, like a perfect spiral. It's a feeling of I don't know, it's just a great feeling. You feel it in your body. It gives you a boost of energy, and you just want more of it.
Only in San Diego can we have Jet Thomas, 6'6", 300 pounds, and then Quinn Roth, and they're both talking about surfing in their off time.
And in their pocket. Hey, do you have pictures of you catching a wave or any video?
I might have some old videos. I haven't filmed or anything in a while, but I could probably look back.
How about pictures?
I can check. I'm not sure.
You got
my dad.
Come on, dude. I mean, just even if it's posing on the beach, send us. I want to run this clip, and I want to have something to show for it.
Okay. I'll send it over.
Take this down. This is my email.
I'll send it to him.
All right, you're gonna get it to it because I need it. When we're done, make it a priority, because if you forget, then I'm screwed, because I do this right after we're done.
All right.
Footwork and getting on a surfboard. Any similarities between the balance you need on the football field and the balance you need on a board?
A little bit. I mean, just like anything, it all starts from the bottom. So, when you're training as a quarterback, if your footwork isn't good, your throw probably won't be very good. And it's the same thing with surfing. But yeah, it all starts from the ground up.
I guess that makes sense, because, he said he doesn't take his eyes off the pocket. He's not scared of defensive linemen and linebackers. And then he's on the surfboard. He's not scared of the sharks. And he doesn't look for them. Maybe he should be.
So then you don't let things creep between your ears as far as
Yeah, Paul and I doubt ourselves all day.
Yeah, maybe that comes with age. Maybe when you're young, you're fearless. He's making, I don't know, can you see my shoes, Quinn? He's making fun of my shoes.
They're orthopedic, Quinn. Don't ever wear these.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah, you have to look close.
Aren't they stylish? These are,
nice.
This is what all the young kids are wearing. They're reefs.
Yeah.
Okay. You don't
See,
have board shorts.
I
know, you're not a young kid, though.
All right, well, I'm trying to be. Quinn, I know what I wanted to ask you. We had, I assume you know the name Eli McNeil, right?
Yep.
We had him on. He spoke very highly of you, but we asked him, we said, hey, if you could pick, say we're going to give you a magic wand and it guarantees you're going to play in the Open Division final, but you have to choose who your opponent will be. He picked you guys.
I'm not surprised.
One, why did he do that, and who would you pick?
Well, first of all, I just want to say Eli is one of my, good quarterback friends in the community. We've been working out together for a while now, so he's been doing good this season. Shout out to him. But yeah, we're sort of rivals, La Costa Canyon and Carlsbad, so I'm excited for that game. It's going to be a great game. But if I had to pick one school to play against, I'd probably say Lincoln, just because I feel like that would be crazy to play them. And We'd definitely be the underdog, but I feel like we'd have a great chance.
What was it with the bugle?
Yeah, what is that?
How you change periods at the Costa Canyon? There's a bugle?
Yeah, that's the bell or whatever that is, whatever instrument that is.
Yeah,
the bugle.
I thought you transferred to a military academy.
I thought you were going to go put your helmet on and dig a foxhole. All right, but I thought Torrey Pines was your rivalry game. Isn't that the Battle of the Surfboard or something?
Yeah, Torrey Pines is the Battle of the Beach, whatever that is. But yeah, it's mostly Carlsbad and Torrey. We have like 2 rivals.
But Lincoln, huh?
So
that might come to fruition.
Yeah. Well, I know. I just for we have our own ranking system here, and Burt doesn't like to say who he put in his top 9, but I have no problem saying it. I put you guys at number 2. And now that's going to change, obviously, when Cathedral gets half their squad off the sit-out period.
I had him at 3, I think, this week.
So right now, I have you in the Open Division playoffs.
Yeah.
But
awesome.
the problem is usually that happens and then you stub your toe the next week or something. I mean,
they have a bye week, so that's good.
Or this can't happen this week. But I mean, there's not a lot of lightweights on your schedule, is there?
No, definitely not. I mean, the Avocado League is always super competitive, so we got to take every week with full focus. Right now, our focus is on Poway, and if we just take one week, one game at a time, I think we'll be good.
Well, that's his bell. How much time we got?
Are we getting you out of class?
Yeah, it's all good though. I'm in English class right now.
Yeah,
so.
Come on. You the way you talk, you have complete command of the language. Yeah. So what is the recruitment situation like? Who's looking at you? Hang on a second. Let's wait for this to go.
All right.
Thank you for helping make it a great weekend.
Yeah, thanks.
Hang on. We'll wait. We'll cut all this out.
Tomorrow, field hockey plays RB at home at 4:30.
How long is this going to go on for?
Probably like 5 more seconds, 10 more seconds.
Second and third race at Woodridge on Friday. Varsity girls play.
So it's like Beeler.
And the boys were led by Kellen Fleck. Congrats, Mavs. Have a great week.
All right, there we go.
All right. Is it at the end of the day already for you guys?
No, it's the beginning of our third period.
All right. So what was I asking? I assume your phone's ringing. Are people looking at you at the next level?
A little bit. I have a few schools I'm talking to right now, but honestly, my focus has just been on the season and winning games. So I feel like everything else will come in place after that.
It will. You're only a junior.
Oh, that's why. But I mean, all right, let me ask you this. Because obviously you're an accomplished kid. You can spin it, as they say. And some kids, are getting the phones ringing, and other kids, the phone is not ringing. If you're one of the kids in that other group where you're seeing other offers, we talked to a bunch of kids last year that were pretty good quarterbacks that were not getting the offers that then Keely Smith is getting 1,000 offers or whatnot. How does that make you feel when you see the text, I'm so proud to thank, or I want to thank, or it's my great honor to get an offer from such and such school? Does that upset you? Does that motivate you? How does that make you feel?
I think it's a weird feeling. I think you feel a lot of things, but for me at least, I feel almost it gives everyone else hope, because if I see someone that I work out with or I know in the community getting offers from big time schools and I know I throw side by side with them, it just shows me that I'm not that far from achieving my goals. So as long as I just keep my head down and keep working, everything will come to me.
Well, to feel better, you have to pay the rating systems, you have to do the 7-on-7 circuit, and 90% of those offers aren't even committable offers. They're just, it's just a sideshow, to be honest with you, but people like to do it.
So whenever I see an offer, it's not always a committable offer?
No, I'd say 80% of them aren't committable. They might, Arizona might give out 400 offers. They're only allowed to bring in 20-some kids. Where do you think the other 380 go? Not committable.
So then how do you, say, you call up and say, okay, I'm going to accept my offer, and then they say, oh, it's not there anymore?
Yeah, we went in a different direction. It's not, they don't.
All right, young man, listen, we're going to wrap this up, but I always ask this question, so we're going to end on it. Unless you want to go, you got one more?
No, do with your young men by you don't happen by mistake. Tell us a little bit about your parents.
No, this is not what
The best coaching advice you've
There
ever
you
got.
go.
Your worst moment and your best moment on the football field.
No, all right.
I know all this. He's like clockwork.
We've done 187 of these, okay?
Wow.
Like, I don't know yours. Excuse me, Quinn, we don't mean to bicker in front of the children.
Sorry.
We're going to stay together for you. Quinn.
Separate rooms. Separate rooms.
Bert's going to be sleeping in a different room.
Room.
Quinn, best advice you've ever received. What was it? Who was it from?
That's a hard one, but if I had to choose one, I'd probably say it's from Coach Sokol, and it doesn't matter, get better. It's constantly, preached to us throughout the week and after games. Even if we lose a game, doesn't matter, get better. If we win a game by 50 points, doesn't matter, get better. And it just, it shows us to keep the chip on our shoulder, keep working. Even if we won the game or lost the game, we have to still work throughout the week. So nothing changes.
Young man, I think that is very profound, and that's a perfect way to end this interview. This is how it's going to play out. In about a half hour, we're going to post this raw conversation on YouTube, and it'll be there for time immemorial. Then, in about an hour's time, I am going to start clipping up my favorite parts, and I can tell you the things I need help on. If I need help with any kind of surfing video that you might have, pictures, whatnot, even if it's just one or two, please, because I like that part of the conversation, talking about your catching a wave and why it's cool. And then what else do I want to get? Oh, and the other thing that I'm for sure going to air is the neighborhood team concept. If you have any pictures from Pop Warner days with kids that you're still playing with today, send me as many as you can send me, as quickly as you can send them to me, so I can start working on this. I'm going to start putting that up on the PPR page and the Prep Pigskin Report X page, so that we can drive traffic to the YouTube page. This will also be on Spotify and iTunes. So
and play throughout Friday night.
And we'll play it all through Friday night on the pre-PR. We play it on Good Morning San Diego. You're going to get a ton of airtime. And then at some point in October, I'm going to hit you up to be a guest on the Prep Pigskin Report, of which you have to say yes.
Of course.
All right, young man.
Quinn, I sent you his email for what pictures do you want?
Pictures of surfing, pictures of the neighborhood Pop Warner team. Any good action shots you have of yourself as an athlete that you own that I'm not going to get sued for using, please send those too.
Okay.
And if you got 10, send me 10. It just makes it look better, dude. No one wants to look at me and Burt, so we can cover us up and with those pictures. With that note, we are now 27. Oh boy, we almost went a half hour with it. Quinn, I apologize for keeping you extra time. Thank you. You're a joy to speak with, and I wish you well, and I wish you a continued good season. Okay.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
All right,
Thanks,
PPR Podcast 187 is over. Everybody, turn off the machines.